Good morning, Facebook family and friends and YouTube subscribers. Today is Monday. It is February 2nd, 2015. Over the weekend, Bobbi Kristina, Whitney Houston's daughter, was rushed to the hospital after a suicide attempt, and she is now on life support and in critical condition at a local hospital here in Atlanta. Just a few minutes ago, I was reading in the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, our local newspaper article here, that Whitney Houston's daughter, Bobbi Kristina, the family is gathering around. It is a grim prognosis. She most likely will not make it. She has zero to very low brain activity. She was found in her home in the Ellert community, which is in Roswell here in Atlanta, Georgia. A suburb of Roswell is a city which is a suburb of Atlanta, Georgia. She was found in her townhouse after committing a suicide attempt. She had an argument or disagreement with her husband, and she told him that she was going to commit suicide, and she did to fill a bathtub with water. And they're not sure. They're not saying exactly what she did. Did she take drugs? Did she take prescription medicine? Did she do over-the-counter medicine? She took something, and then she got into the bathtub to drown herself. And apparently, this situation has become... when Whitney Houston passed away, this is the interesting part. Whitney Houston died almost 2 years ago. And when she died... it's been one tragedy after the next with her daughter. So Whitney Houston died at 48 years of age in 2012, and I think she died on February 11th or February 12th. Somewhere, we're very close to the anniversary of Whitney Houston's death. I've always felt that Whitney Houston, Bobbi Kristina, or anyone going through a serious drug problem or having mental issues should seek professional help. I don't know if you all know this or not, but Whitney Houston was living here in Atlanta. Well, of course you all know this. She was living here in Atlanta at one point with her husband, Bobby Brown. And Cissy Houston went to the police department and took the police over to Whitney Houston and Bobby Brown's home to remove her daughter from the house. Now, when Whitney Houston was removed from the house, Whitney Houston should have went straight into some type of drug rehabilitation center or clinic or whatever. She did not. Whitney Houston never had professional help for her drug problem. All she had was good old-fashioned prayer. That's it. She never checked into all that money and wealth that Whitney Houston had. She never ever checked into a mental health facility or a drug treatment facility for at least a 6 month to a year period. That could have saved her life. When Whitney Houston passed away, I knew it. I remember I had a discussion on Facebook and with some friends. I said, Bobbi Kristina is going to be next because she has inherited these drug problems from her mother and father. Bobby Brown was a drug addict. Whitney Houston was a drug addict. Their daughter more than likely inherited these traits from them, causing her to have a drug issue also. For all we know, Whitney Houston may have been using drugs while she was pregnant with Bobbi Kristina. We don't know. It's very well could be the case. Regardless, when Whitney Houston passed away, Bobbi Kristina should have been immediately put into in-treatment facility for mental health and drug therapy because they knew there was a problem. But instead, once again, her family member, Cissy Houston, her grandmother, Whitney Houston's mother, relied on good old-fashioned getting on your knees and praying to Jesus. Jesus, we love you. And tragically, once again, we find out prayers don't work like that. You can pray all day and night long, but prayer without action is not going to get anything resolved. That young lady should have been put into an in-house treatment facility where she could not even leave. But I also recognize that you can't technically you can force a person into some type of a treatment facility, but at the same time, the person has to be wanting to make a change. As we saw with Whitney Houston, she never wanted to make that change. Whitney Houston didn't want to give up those drugs. Whitney Houston was doing drugs right up to the day she died. She was doing cocaine and Xanax, all kinds of stuff, right up until the day she died. Had she been in a mental health treatment program, they probably would have took all those drugs away and helped resolve that issue. Prescription drugs are just as bad as cocaine, recreational drugs. Prescription drugs and recreational drugs, they both can kill you. And this story to me is very tragic because this didn't have to happen. See, we're not dealing with a bunch of poor black folks here. We're not dealing with Shamika and Tyrone in the West End in Atlanta, Georgia, or on the south side of Chicago, or down in the jungle in LA, or over in Harlem. We're dealing with two of the wealthiest African American. Whitney Houston was the biggest African American female singer on planet Earth. They had money, wealth, power, connections, but even they couldn't get the help that they needed for their drug problems. Neither Whitney nor her daughter. I had lost two sisters in my family. One of my sisters was on dialysis. A few months, my oldest sister, Mia, was the most religious person you could ever meet. She didn't know, of course, she had her issues, but she sure was a church-going Christian. She was in every church you can think of. My sister used to attend a church where they had church service, no lie, from 11 o'clock in the afternoon, 11 o'clock in the morning, to damn near midnight at some church out in the country someplace. And you go there and be all these hundreds of people just in there screaming, ranting, raving, and I met her one day at the church because they were like, Mommy's in church. I said I had to take her some money and she was at church. And I met her at this church and I couldn't believe my eyes. And they were there every week, every Sunday, all day, and even throughout the week. The church pastor was crazy. Anyway, my sister was always into these fanatical religions. I don't know, well, I had a religious mother, superstitious father. You combine those two together, you got some crazy. That's why I'm not a very religious individual or superstitious person at all. But anyway, my sister was very religious. A few months before her death, she joined another psychopathic church. And I've been led to believe that pastor at that church told her that she could stop dialysis and Jesus would take care of everything. That's what happened. That's when my sister passed away. This religious pastor or whoever tricked her into believing. Now, mind you, my sister was giving every dime to this pastor, every penny, but this is a whole other video. But she was giving her all money to this church, and this church instructed her that she didn't have to go to dialysis no more, that Jesus was going to take care of this. Well, it needs to say my sister's dead and gone. By the time she missed 2 or 3 of them dialysis clinics, I think she missed 2, she fell into a coma. And she missed that Monday, she missed Wednesday. By Thursday, she was dead. It was tragic. She didn't go. She didn't go to her dialysis. So she relied on prayer. I don't have a problem if you are a religious person, but we have to live in reality. I have yet gone to a hospital and saw only pastors and preachers in these hospitals healing people. I've never seen that. I've seen doctors, nurses, technicians, x-ray specialists, and all types of people, professional people. There to resolve. If you have a car accident, you are not rushed to a church. If I fall down in this kitchen and hurt myself, they are not going to take me to this church up here on this corner. They're going to take me to a hospital. So when we get injuries and we get hurt, a car wreck, a broken arm, a cut, a bruise, they don't rush you to the local hospital, to the local church to pray for you. They take you to the hospital, you can get help. But when we have problems here, right up in here, we never go get professional help. Because drug problems start here. It is an addiction. Whitney Houston had an addiction problem. And she passed this problem on to her daughter, Bobbi. And Bobbi has struggled with drugs, alcohol, and everything else you can imagine under the sun, prescription medicines, for years. This is not something that happened since her mother died. This problem was ongoing when her mother was alive and she was a teenager. And now we have this tragedy that she may not be able to pull through. She needed professional help, and there's nothing wrong with getting professional help. Like I said, if you break your arm, you rush to a hospital. They don't take you up into the local church. They got a church on every damn corner. The Badlands, I can guarantee you're going to speed by them churches if they don't exist. They try to get you to a hospital, the closest hospital, so that you can get help for whatever your problem is. But when we have mental problems, drug problems, psychosis, anything, we sit up in these churches looking for answers, and the answers are not there. They're just not there. We got to get African Americans to say it's okay to go seek help for getting rid of that drug problem or drinking problem or any addiction. Food, sex, whatever. Somebody told me they don't believe in sex addiction. Somebody told me they don't believe in food addiction. Okay. These are both clinically proven addictions. And you don't believe in it, but they believe in Jesus. Go figure that one out. Anyway, I hate that this situation's happened because it doesn't seem like Bobbi Kristina is going to live through this. And has she had I have to go back to this, they had the money, the wealth, the connections. They could have made one phone call and Bobbi Kristina could have been put into the best rehabilitation clinic on planet Earth. And the same could have been done for Whitney Houston. But tragically, neither one of them got the professional help that they needed. And that's why we have this tragedy today. Anyway, it's exhausting. It's very depressing. This whole weekend, this is on my mind. And I think the reason why this is on my mind is because I'm looking at my own family. I'm looking at some very serious mental health issues within my family with drugs, alcohol, and all kinds of stuff. And nobody's getting help. Nobody. No one. And I talk to this to my mother all the time, and she's always so quick to say, Walter, we just got to pray on it. That Jesus, we have to give it to Jesus. This has been going on for years. Years and years. The issues going on in my family with my family members and some of the issues that they have with drugs and alcohol. Now I'm seeing these problems in my nieces and nephews. When does this cycle end? When do we stop relying on this, praying for a miracle, and go get the help that we need to resolve these issues? It's mind-boggling to me. It's very sad and depressing. Because you keep thinking, there's help out there. I can take you to the water, but you all don't want to drink it. There's professional help that can help you get. You don't have to suffer like this. You don't have to go through this. But if your whole family's against seeking professional help, and this is a black thing, it could be a white thing too. I don't know. I'm not white. I don't really know too many white folks either. I might have to call and ask, y'all have the same problem over there? They probably say, yeah, we do. But in black Americans are very anti-treatment for some reason. And I've never understood that. Go get professional help. If I had a drug problem, you best believe I'm going to get professional help. I'm not going to sit around in this house drinking coffee thinking, oh, let it go away. Doesn't work that way. I would be in somebody's clinic getting, I don't care what it would cost. I'd find a way to pay for it and get the professional help that I needed. But I care about my life. I care about my health. I care about me. I don't know. I can go on and on about the situation with Bobbi Kristina and Whitney Houston, but it is what it is. And it's tragic and it's sad. It didn't have to be this way. If you like my videos, please click like, share them with family members and friends. I'm hoping for the best for Bobbi Kristina, but sometimes I'm able to see things that other people cannot see. I don't think that she's going to pull through this, but I hope that she does. I'm out of here. Enjoy your Monday.